Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Kryptonite Incite X8 bicycle headlight. Although Kryptonite is best known for their bike locks, they've recently introduced the Incite Bike Light series. What sets this apart from other lights on the market is that Kryptonite has focused on bike optics instead of just raw output. Hence, these lights carry a lux rating, which is something you see more commonly in European lights. Now, today we're going to be looking at the highest end headlight in the series, the X8. This has the highest output and the most advanced features. Packaging wise, it's really nice. As with the other Incite products, you have the black and yellow color scheme, the light prominently displayed, and you can actually interact with it, as well as see the beam, which is a really cool feature with a little cutout. You have all the information about the display, as well as a little infographic which displays why you want a focused light versus a standard cone beam headlight, as it focuses the beam on the ground and doesn't blind oncoming traffic, pedestrians, or other cyclists. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the box, and while I do that, we'll go over the specs. Retail price on this is $144.95. You can also buy this along with the XBR taillight, which is a accelerometer based brake light, for $164.95. This has the focused beam design, and you can see a very unique beam design to really focus on the ground. It also has 80 lux, which is quite bright. That's measured at 10 meters away on the ground. It's USB rechargeable, and it has a very large LCD display, which displays runtime, current mode, as well as the current time. And in terms of battery life, it has up to 3 to 24 hour runtime depending on which mode you select. In terms of what comes in the box, you get the headlight itself, you get the manual, you get the handlebar mount, which is their new design, and you get the USB charging cable. Now let's take a second to look at the weight of the headlight. We put the headlight by itself, comes in at 140 grams, and if we add the handlebar strap, that comes in at a total of 174. So now let's look at the fit and finish of the Incite X8 headlight. What's really unique about this headlight is the beam design. So you can see you have the LEDs mounted way on top, and then you have the interesting reflector that really extends down and forces the light downward. Now when you're riding, you can see it gives you this U shape that illuminates everything from the front of your bike to several feet in front of you. So it's a nice design. This is only available in the US, so it's not ST VZO certified for German or European use. But you can see most of the housing is actually dominated by the lens. Almost the entire front half is the lens itself. As a premium all black finish, it's plastic and has a nice weight to it as well. Minimal Kryptonite branding and white lettering on each side. You have a micro USB port on the back. Unfortunately, it's not USB Type-C, but definitely easy to use, and the cable's included. Has a nice rubber grommet to keep it weather safe as well. And perhaps the best feature of this is the large LCD display. So this is a top line model, and because of that, you get a much larger display, and if you click it once, you can see both the battery status and the current time. If you hold down either the plus or minus button, I'll actually show you the runtime in hours and minutes. A little icon display showing which mode you're in. So it has multiple steady modes, and as you can see when I adjust it, it'll change the corresponding display. It also has flashing modes that have different displays. You get the current time, which is a cool feature, and the battery. You also have these nice slits here, which I really like. So these illuminate the handlebars when you're riding and also improve your side visibility. So definitely a nice feature. In terms of the mount, it's not Garmin or GoPro compatible. They went with their own proprietary design. And with any beam optic design like this, you can't actually mount this upside down. So you have to mount it top side up, which takes quite a bit of space on your handlebar. The mount itself is fairly easy to use. It is a cable tie style design. So you can see you have this cable with ridges. It goes through the slot. And then you can hear the ratcheting, so adjust the different handlebar sizes with little rubber grips here to really hold it in place. Once you're happy with the position, you push the lever up, and then if it was mounted on the bike, it'd actually hold really well. There's also a little screw here that lets you, once it's loose, you can actually go side to side about 10 degrees each way. So a nice little subtle feature, and you can tighten it down once you're happy with it. The way it mounts is really simple. So it's like a clipless pedal. There's two ridges here, and you simply slide it into the slot on the bottom of the headlight. Snap it down, and you hear the click. To remove the headlight, you just push this little button up, and it pops out. It's a little bit harder to do when it's on the bike, as there's less space, but it's pretty easy to pop off, especially if you're commuting. You can simply take it off or take it off with the entire mount. Now let's take a look at the beam shape of the Incite X8. As you can see, it's quite unique. It's almost an upside down U with a nice beam cutoff. There are a few artifacts, as you can see on the ground, but they don't really affect the light output. A majority of it is focused straight ahead of the bike. Now, Kryptonite offers 6 different modes, 3 different steady ones, and 3 flashes. And as you can see, the jumps are quite large. So low is really dim, while medium and high are good enough for dark trails. And you can see the nice rectangular area right in front of the bike. The 3 flashes are also nice. I like the night pulse. It's a good way to attract attention while not being too distracting. And economic flash gives you the most runtime with 24 hours. Now on the road, you can see here, this is the low mode. It's pretty dim, and the camera exaggerates things a bit too. As you go to medium, it's much better. This is actually good enough to ride at night and gives you an extra 2 hours of runtime. But if you're on really dark trails, the high mode is the best of all at 80 lux. And the beam pattern means you have a nice car length width right in front of you with a pretty good throw. As with other more focused lights, you can see the sides are fairly dark, so you only see what's in front of your bike. So as you can see, when I take a turn, you do turn into dark regions, but that's kind of an issue with a lot of beam cutoff style lights. So now let's do a little comparison between the Kryptonite Incite lights and other lights on the market. What I have here is the X3, X6, and X8. What I really like about what Kryptonite has done is you can see both feature-wise and size-wise, they're really well differentiated. The X3 is 30 lux, a no mode indicator with the dual spheric lens. The X6 is a larger version of that, double the power, and now you get the runtime display as well as a mode indicator. So as the price goes up, you get more quantifiable features. And then between the X6 and the X8 has the larger screen, different optics that are US only, a little more premium look that corresponds to the higher price, larger side window, and again, 80 lux versus the 60 for the X6, so quite a bit brighter. With the X8, you can definitely run it in a media mode pretty happily at nighttime, while the X3 and X8, X6, I found myself usually in high mode all the time, especially on dark trails. For commuting, these are better options for commuting, while a more serious dark trail, dark road, I prefer the X8. Now mount-wise, the X8 and X3 and 6 all have the same style mount. The 6 and the 3 share the smaller one, while the X8 has this more wide version that corresponds to the larger size. Comparing that mount to, say, the Fenix style cam design, you can see this simply drops in over and then tightens. Has a similar sliding mechanism with additional side-to-side play with that little screw you can loosen. I like the Kryptonite design a little bit better over that, as it's more compact, but it is harder to release. As you can see with the Fenix, you have this large lever that sticks out. So a little bit give or take. What I really like are the Magicshine lights. So these are the Allty 1000, and that's the Allty 2000. These actually have a Garmin compatible mount, so you don't have to use a proprietary mount. And you can see it puts out more power than the Incite light series, but it has a basic beam shape. So you can see when you turn it on, it's just a cone. So it definitely blinds others on the road, but it does feel more premium too. It has the metal housing. They are a little bit more expensive. So what's great about the Incite lights is that they bring better beam optics and more affordable pricing. Now, if you compare the X8 versus the Allty 2000, you can see they also have a better screen on the Kryptonite, more information, larger read display, while the Allty 2000 just has a small mode indicator and battery status. I also like the side lights on the Kryptonite versus the simple beveled edges on the Magicshine. There are also other lights on the market, like the Fenix BC21R. This has a replaceable battery, which is a great feature, something you don't typically see. Same proprietary design, a little more compact form factor. You can see these lenses really take up a lot of space, so if you just go with a traditional lens, with a really basic vertical deflector, a lot more compact in size, and metal as well. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Incite X8. What we like about it is the anti-glare beam. The LEDs are actually hidden behind a shield on top, and you have that nice long reflector. Results with a really nice beam that doesn't blind any oncoming traffic or cyclists. We like the large backlit LCD display screen. It's very large. It shows the time, the mode, the runtime, and the battery symbol, so all the information you need, and it's visible day and night. We also like the integrated slits on the side, which improve the side visibility, as well as illuminate the handlebars and part of your body for extra safety. Some of the cons are the fact that they use a proprietary mount. There are no GoPro or Garmin adapters currently available. And that also leads to the second con, which is the large size takes up a lot of space on the handlebar. So you can't actually put this on the out in front mount since it's not compatible. So that's one con. The X3 and the X6 are a little bit smaller than this. And finally, there are brighter lights available for this price, but they don't have the anti-glare beam, so it's a bit of give and take. If you do more mountain biking, this is probably not the light for you, but if you ride in the city or on trails, this is a great light to be kind to other oncoming traffic while still having a bright light. Taking everything into account, we'd give the Incite X8 a 9.1 out of 10. This really has unique optics with a large LCD display, and it's hard to find something with anti-glare beam at this price point. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at The Sweet Cyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.